This is Colton Enkelbrecht, and he is the greatest powerlifter of all time. And if you want to be able to bench press like him, then follow these steps. So step one is to sit on the end of the bench so that I don't hit my head on the bar as I come underneath. Step two is to bring yourself back until the bar is in line with your chest. And we also want to make sure that the bar is rolled forwards to the end of the rack. Next is our feet. So once we're in position with that bar underneath, we want to bring our feet as far back as we can so that they are flat on the floor. Now they're not going to remain flat on the floor, but that's coming next. So next, we're now going to focus on our shoulder blades. We want to bring our shoulder blades back and down so that our chest is being pushed to the ceiling, and we're going to keep going as much as our mobility allows. And what you're noticing is my heels are now coming off the floor. I want to go basically until my heels are about 45 degrees off the floor. So shoulder blades, chest pushed up to the ceiling, and now the bar is in line with my eyes, maybe even more my mouth or my chin. So now let's talk about hand position. So what we want as a minimum is that our hands, when we come down to the bottom of our rep, are perpendicular to the floor. But if we really want to push it from there, we can actually go even wider, and basically as wide as you kind of feel comfortable. But for me, that'll be somewhere around here. And now my forearms are actually at the bottom going to be tilting out ever so slightly, but that now means I got a shorter range of motion. That's going to help me push a lot more weight. So then once we're in position, now let's talk about our breathing. So when I'm about to lift off, I'm going to take a big breath into my stomach and I'm going to tense my core to provide a lot of stability. Now, if you want to give this a shot, you can also try throughout the entire set that you do to hold your breath. So when I go into my set, I brace, and then throughout the whole time, I'm going to be holding my breath until I am done with my set. The reason for that is because every time I exhale, I'm probably going to be pulling myself out of position. And so if I can do that whole set whilst holding my breath, it's going to mean that I can push more and more reps with a lot more stability. And then in terms of pushing out from the bottom, what we want to make sure that we're doing is when I'm in this bottom position is I'm driving my heels down to the ground to provide hip extension. So I'm driving down to the ground as I'm pushing the weight up and off. Last but not least, when we do our reps, a lot of people overreach at the top. So when they do their reps, they're pulling themselves out of position every time they do a rep because they bring their shoulders forwards. So keep those shoulder blades back and just shorten that range of motion ever so slightly so that I'm not overreaching and pulling myself out of position every single rep.